I'm a hot boy, getting all I can get. Live the lifestyle of a wise guy, pretty women and zips. Yeah, I'm a hot boy.
You can bet your ass I'm a hot boy. Yep, I'm a hot boy.
Life is a hot bar. Pretty women, fast cars, toting toasters. Better watch who you get close to, cause a nigga could be after your throne. People always testing the strong. Best believe one step in his own. I'm a wise guy. Keeping it quiet with bullshit that rise. Everything kept on the hush. Some shit ain't never discussed. Loose lips can get you locked up, carried away.
Only truths that pay dues know where you stay.
I didn't see the poles running where people lay. Sitting on about a key. I can't let that shit happen to me. Never stash out when you crash out. Gotta be quick on your feet.
Yo, it is the King and I Life podcast. Back again over here slipping and yeah, just I don't know. I was in another damn world. But hey, you know how we do. It's the King and I Life podcast with your boy, So Touch the Poet and my brother.
Son Soul Lex.
We in this joint again. And Son Soul Lex just loves to start damn trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let y'all know this is his topic. I have nothing to do with it, but I'm gonna get in on it because that's my man's, and I gotta support my man's. And I'm gonna drink me a Coors Light while we at it.
All right, do that. So, of course, you guys can reach out to us at KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. Again, that's KingNI369@gmail.com. If you have any questions, concerns, you want to come on the platform, if you have any topics you would like for us to chop up, hey, we out here. So anyway,
yes,
appreciate that, the support that we've been getting, and I know that we're coming back to doing every Wednesday. It's just been a rough few Wednesdays, but we're gonna get on top of it.
It's been a rough few weeks. I just want to say this off the break. Everybody in the world, and I'm not going to be politically correct. I'm just going to be as blunt as I goddamn can.
Drop the hammer.
Everybody out here is going through some type of mental or emotional, whatever, stress, illness, whatever the case may be. Unplug from social media. Unplug from people who are not beneficial to your life. Unplug from the nonsense that you're going through and take your ass outside. Please. Me and my cousin, my YouTube cousin, Book of Genesis, go check her out. You know, we be talking on a regular basis, I'll say. And the one thing that we have come to the conclusion is that going outside is very necessary. Remember when you was a child, you didn't have too many, when we were children, I'll put it that way, we didn't have all that nonsense that's going on because we went outside. Like every now and then we was pissed off because we couldn't go outside, or our parents said, don't come in this house unless you staying in the house, or, you know, somebody wouldn't be our friend or whatever the case. But we was outside and we was having fun and living life. I say that because I got me a kayak and I've been on the water. I got on the other day, I got on today, and look, that's my prescription of fuck it pills. So, hey, go outside. But anyway.
Definitely.
Go outside.
Gotta get outside, man. That's where the fun is at. Remember back in the day when we were growing up?
Yeah,
that's
man. Fresh air, sunlight. Just, oh, man. Anyway, I digress.
But this topic came about, just to give you guys some little background on it, was I was surfing for new topics to discuss. So this one right here was a situation where this person was still engaging with their ex, and this person's a famous rapper, and they're basically sending out subliminal shots at their ex. So anyway, not gonna name names, not gonna name situations, but it is what it is. I just thought it was fascinating because a lot of people still find themselves engaging with their ex um, for various reasons. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get into it. So, what are the rules of engagement when it comes to dealing with an ex? They say an ex is an ex for a reason, but oftentimes we find ourselves in situations where we can't completely cut all ties. This could be due to having children, material slash relationships, properties, or because there is a business involved. Regardless of many situations out in the world, we all choose or have to continue a relationship with an ex. Some people feel they need a relationship vacation, and some feel like keeping an ex around like emergency savings, just in case. Um, Tonight, we will be discussing the good, bad, and the ugly of carrying on such relationships.
Before you get into that, I don't know why you ain't say names and situations, just because it's out in the universe for all those to see. I wasn't aware of it because I try my best not to follow celebrity nonsense, because it's like
Yeah, I don't.
I have so much other stuff that's more exciting in my life to pay attention to than what Future is doing with what's the chick name? I can't even remember her damn name. What's her name?
Sierra.
Yeah, Future and him saying he's still smashing Sierra or whatever. Bruh, if you still smashing, smash and keep it on the low. Like, why do we need to know this? Why are you putting out on Front Street? And she in a whole marriage, a whole new marriage, right?
Yeah, so
Like,
that was the
bruh,
thing that everybody was up in roar about because he just said the letter C. So we all know Future has a lot of babies and he has a lot of baby mamas, but instantly everybody went to Sierra. So I was like, that's kind of premature right there, especially knowing that they don't even deal with each other like that in the public eye anyway. And plus, her being married and all. So me personally, I don't think he's talking about her, but hey,
if he is or if he isn't, um, outside of dealing with your ex for a reason or a season or whatever the case may be, if you still smashing the ex, why are you out here doing clown stuff like putting her on blast? Like, what do you accomplish by doing that? Like, that's so unhappy of anybody who does that. Um, I don't know. Sheila says she don't think he's talking about her.
I don't either. I really don't.
I mean, that could be the case, but at the end of the day, whoever he's talking about, why? Just why?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about having an exclusive relationship is keeping it on the low, bruh. So why would you even want to put it out there like that to, have people to question certain things? And that kind of, even though he might not be talking about her, Russell Wilson might be looking at that shit like, what? So it puts a question in his mind, but hopefully he's above that and trusts his wife. So
I'm gonna look at it like this. If he's talking about Sierra, if Future's talking about Sierra, he's a clown. If Russell Wilson has a question mark on his brain, if he's talking about Sierra, or if he's feeling some type of way about it, he's a clown. At the end of the day, don't lose no sleep over any man or woman that you are dealing with. That's just my motto.
I
And
totally
I'll
agree.
leave it at that. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't own that person, and they're only obligated to you as much as they want to be obligated to you. And that's how I've been looking at things for a long time, because I've been cheated on back in the day. I've had my boohoo moments. I had my want to fight moments, and I come to the conclusions like, why am I doing all of this? I don't own this person. I don't. I just don't own the person. And whatever they want to do, they're going to do. If they choose to be faithful to me, they choose to be faithful to me. If not, then just do you. I'll do me. Part ways, or we can drink a beer every now and then, or whatever the case may be. It is what it is. It don't work. Wait, let me try it again.
Yeah, that's definitely the way I see things. Like again, you don't own anyone. You know, you don't even own your kids.
Right.
They just came through you to be on this earth. But at the end of the day, everybody's their own person, man or female. But yeah, if you can't trust the person you with, if there's a question mark in your mind, then hey, do what you gotta do. That's all I can say.
Yeah, pretty much.
So let me go and drop it off. What are your thoughts on having a relationship with your exes?
Um, it depends. Um, if children are involved, then I think it's very important to have a relationship with an ex. Um, Friendship wise, I mean, if the relationship wasn't toxic or retarded, um, then maybe at some point y'all could be friends, cordial, or however you want to look at it. Business wise, I honestly, when it comes to business, I mean, because there are people who are able to operate in those spaces, but for me, um, it, we would have to do something because I can't, I don't think I don't think I would continue to have that type of relationship with a person that I used to be with because for me, it's like, it's too intertwined. It's too much
Mhm.
going on. That's something that we built together, and you know, you gotta navigate that. It works for some people,
Yeah.
but if it was a bitter breakup, you definitely don't want to keep a business relationship with that person, even though you say or she say, "Oh, we can still do this, we can still do that." If it was a toxic breakup, then nah, we can't do that. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Dang.
for me, I don't deal with any of my exes. And it's not that, we have anything against each other or, any hate there, at least not on my part. Definitely not on my part. But I don't know. I just got my own thing going now. And, I hope they have their own lives going as well. But as far as like reaching out or trying to maintain some type of relationship with an ex, I don't do it. Again, I don't have any hate against them or
Hmm.
any hard feelings. It's just the way I run my life. I don't reach out to exes. So I'm not gonna waste my time with you. But if I was to see one of them out in public, we speak. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Blase, blase. Okay, cool. Take it easy. But as far as maintaining a business, I could do that if it wasn't, on a harsh termination of the relationship.
Yeah.
Children, of course, you got to maintain a relationship
Hey.
because you have kids together. And as far as like maintaining a sexual or a friendship type of relationship, it could be done, but just not where I'm at.
Mm. Well, cousin Genesis has joined us.
Hey, Genesis.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing lovely. We talking about the rules of engagement when it comes to dealing with an ex. And the first question was, what are your thoughts on having a relationship with your exes? Business, children, sexual, friendship. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it depends. Um, I was listening before I joined, and yeah, I heard y'all talking about like the maintaining relationship with the ex if y'all have children together, and it doesn't always work out that way. Like
Yeah.
I have not been able to maintain a relationship with my ex,
Hmm.
even for the sake of the kids. It was just that toxic. But I have had uh, prior relationships that I was able to. Well, I won't say I was able to that. Well, not even relationships plural. One particular prior relationship that
Mm,
I revisited.
right.
Uh, Normally I don't do that, but
Mm.
I don't know. There was some kind of weird connection happening, so it was what it was.
So pretty much the loins needed to be scratched, and both of y'all was feeling that.
No, I don't know. We just had this strange chemistry
Mm,
that like when we were together, it was good. I think the timing just wasn't right for either one of us.
mm.
We separated, went our separate ways. But every time we saw each other, the chemistry was like really strong, and not just sexual chemistry,
Okay.
just
Mhm.
Friendship.
chemistry in general. And then we revisited.
Yeah. I mean,
It works out that way sometimes. That's what's
yeah.
up.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I mean, especially when situation with the kids, some
Yeah,
people just can't focus on that part because they so butthurt over the relationship.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Fortunately, I don't really have that issue. Like me and my youngest son's mother, we get along great.
Hmm.
Me and my oldest son's mother is kind of shaky because she's on some because I wasn't always physically present when he was growing up. So she was feeling some kind of way about that. And that she had said something to me about that about a couple months ago. And I'm like, this Joker is 29 years old. And you're saying this to me. And it's like, up until this point, we've had a great friendship. No dipping in the bed or nothing like that. But we had a great friendship. We would
Hmm.
talk like 2, 3 times a week. And I was like, you know what? Enjoy your life. I
Wow.
can't. I can't. But I only have one ex, my third ex-wife, that I will hate until the end of time. And some people say hate is a strong word.
Yeah,
I
it
don't.
is a very strong word, but I feel you because that's
I
how I
mean,
feel about my
yeah,
ex that I share the children with. Like
yeah,
there's nothing ever that you could do or say that we'll ever be friends. Like it's just not gonna
ever,
happen.
ever. Like
Not ever, ever.
I wish lightning would strike her in her asshole. That's how much I
Yeah,
despise her. Like,
I
Dang
feel
it, man.
yeah.
That's
yeah,
kind of
That's
harsh.
wrong, but it's wrong to think that way. But some
yeah.
people will bring you to that.
Yeah, and I used to when we first like separated and got divorced, people like, well, do you think you'll ever get back with your ex? And I felt offended that I got asked that question.
Yes,
Like I was
yes.
really offended. It was like, well, you just got divorced, and y'all it's like
Meanwhile, you thinking like, I'm trying to figure out why I did it to begin with.
right.
Put my
It's
own
like
self in the rear.
I'm like, I don't know about you, but for me, I process breaking up a relationship as it's going on, not after it's happened. Like, no,
Yeah,
no, I don't grieve after the fact. I grieve during the grieving process, like
right.
properly. It's like, no, I hate that Joker.
You get
Hate,
your
hate, hate.
freedom. You like a wild animal let loose. Like I'm
Man,
free. I ain't never going back.
man,
I'm not
hey,
going back to the plantation.
Ain't never going back.
ever.
Right.
No,
I'm Harriet Tubman on the Underground Railroad trying to find my way to
man.
freedom.
Yes, yes, yes. I look. So, I mean, situations like that, I no. Have I had continued sexual relationship with exes? I have. Yeah. But as far as a business, I can't do it. I
Mm-mm.
can't.
So now
Understood.
I'm going back to what Sun Soul X was talking about. The future and his story.
Uh,
Y'all believe that? I didn't
uh
believe that for a second. I'm like,
No,
he had to be talking about a different sea.
he had to.
Had to be.
I,
Somebody with
I would hope
previous that had
so.
the same first initial, because I can't see her messing up Russell for that.
No.
Stranger things have happened.
True.
Yeah, but I
True.
think she has a whole lot more to lose now. I mean,
Right.
So did
He
Bill Clinton,
got
but he
money,
got head in
but
the Oval Office. Like, come
my
on.
boy got
No,
he
no,
doing it. Like,
it's a difference. It's a
It's a
difference.
difference.
I
I would
mean,
hope.
when you compare Monica Lewinsky to Hillary,
Yeah.
I can kind of see why you did it, you know.
Right.
But Russell to Future,
I
mm-mm,
would hope that
nah.
it's not true, but I still stand on this. If it is true and he's putting it out there like that, he a
Hmm.
clown. He's a whole
I
clown.
mean,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
they are clowns,
I'm
I
not gonna
just
tell him myself.
nah.
and the
No.
way that they're in the spotlight, and everybody's
Yeah.
like, you know, envious of their relationship or wishing that they had. They're like relationship goals, and that's kind of
Yeah.
slap in the face for him. And sometimes men can be petty.
Yeah.
I
Very,
don't see it.
very petty. But yeah, I don't. Whatever. Look, dude.
Okay.
Oh
So,
man.
can people maintain a friendship with an ex if one person is still attracted to the other?
Mm.
Nope. Nope.
Flat out no.
Flat out no. I mean, even if they're not attracted, if they come in the same space, the person with the attraction is going to do something that's probably inappropriate because they still have the attraction, whether it's flirting or, inappropriate comments or something like that, sometimes even inappropriate touching.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. In situations like that, it's like I'd rather just fall back
Yeah.
because I don't want to make myself look like a jackass in situations like that. Yeah, I've had exes that I was still attracted to, but it's like, let me stay away from that because,
You
nah.
already know you're going to be weak.
Right, like SWP, I get so weak in the knees.
I think that for me, again, I don't maintain any ex relationships. I do think that it's doable under the right circumstances. But as far as like one person being more attracted to the other person, I think the person who's more attracted, they're setting themselves up for heartbreak.
Mm,
Because if you guys went, your separate ways, you went your separate ways for a reason. So hoping and praying and wishing you can get back with an ex, you kind of setting yourself up for a headbanger.
mm.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully they ain't hoping and wishing to get back. I mean, there's
they
levels to this game.
do. They do.
There's levels to this game.
They do. Women, I've had female friends who they had a good relationship with somebody, or what they thought was, the one, and it didn't work out for whatever reason. And they may have moved on, they didn't really move on. Like, they still held this torch for that person, or
Mm.
they couldn't fully commit to future situations because they were hoping for reconciliation with, that previous person they were involved with.
It does happen. Like
Yeah.
somebody, when you have somebody in your life that's a good person and they've done anything and everything they can to try to show you that they down for you and been there for you in those gutter situations,
Hmm.
and it's like you get to a point where the situation changes where you just can't go on. It's only after you don't have that person in your life anymore, meaning your well has run dry.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's when you realize, damn, that was the one. And
Yeah.
again, by that time, there's no going back.
Yeah, but if you move on and you still have whatever in you for that ex, then I look at that as you moved on in an attempt to get attention from that ex or to make that ex jealous, and you making yourself look like a damn buffoon. I I, I don't know why I think that.
No, I got a little pushback on that one,
Really?
because yeah, like they'll say, if it's meant to be, let it go and it'll come back.
Okay.
And I think sometimes people will do that in hopes that that person is going to come back, but I think that there needs to be a conversation between the two people, saying, hey, maybe now's not the right time for us. we need to take a break, go our separate ways, work on whatever it is we need to work on, and then, see if we find our way back to each other. Sometimes people will just end the relationship without having that conversation and move on. And, then the person is thinking, well, they moved on because they didn't want me anymore. They don't want to be with me, even in the future. So now I done moved on. I'm happy with somebody and they still, waiting on me to come back.
That's one of
Yeah.
those deadly games, and
Yeah.
that'll get you on ID channel.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like if you split up with someone, break up with however that goes, and you move on, but you still hoping that that person that you can get back with that person, it's like for me, it's like, well, why are you doing it like that? Like if you need time to figure stuff out and maybe you'll get back together, then this is not Lifetime. This is not a rom-com or stuff like that. It's like if you split up to get yourself together to see if you can make it back, why drag another party into that whole thing to where it's like, okay, well, you move on in hopes to get back with this person, and this person that you found or ended up with is falling madly in love with you, then you be like, dear John or dear Jane,
Hmm.
I know I said we was gonna be together, but my ex is very appetizing, and I'm gonna go back over here.
I mean,
He
I
said
think they make
appetizing.
sometimes they make those decisions to move on with somebody else for the wrong reasons. It may
And
be
that's
for
my that's what
money,
I'm
it
saying.
may be for status, a come up, whatever it is,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah.
realize, they still love that person, but,
Mm,
you know, financially or something, this other person may be a better look for them.
man.
Yeah. I
And us women, sometimes they'll play games, they leave because they want him to chase her, and he ain't chasing nothing, and now
Yeah.
she looking crazy.
Look here. I ran track in high school. I ain't chasing nothing else.
I tell you, look, I say the only chasing me is where you do the banking at. I ain't chasing nobody, and you don't get to spin the block on me. You get one
Oh
shot, you messed it up.
man.
That's it.
That is too funny. That's too funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
Mm.
think that's a good thing, because that's why there's the stare or the Sheila G is laughing. There's the misconception, I think, or even the thought that if a woman has, a baby daddy or something, they'll say, "Oh, he's still hitting it," or
Mhm.
they think that they're still involved with each other some kind of way, or that she hasn't moved on. If um, especially if the breakup is fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we leave relationships mentally before we leave them physically. So
Yeah.
that's not always the case.
Yeah.
Excellent. So that leads perfectly into my next talking point.
Okay.
When is it the right time to leave a toxic situation or a toxic ex? Like even though you've left, you still, you know,
Oh man, I bet we can all relate to this one.
when you get to
Yeah.
that point where you're like, all right, enough is enough.
Is there a right time? I think people stay longer. That at least I know I have been guilty of that, staying longer than I should,
Yep.
because you're trying to like give them an opportunity to fix it or whatever. And especially in the case of marriage, you
Mhm.
don't want to think you always like talk yourself out of leaving because you're like, okay, am I not giving it a chance? Am I, running too soon? So then
Mhm.
you stay and you end up taking, more abuse, or there's more toxicity because you didn't leave when you had the first, as they say, you didn't follow your first mind.
Right.
True.
Yeah, because that's what I dealt with my last marriage. I knew I needed to go, but I stayed a little longer than I needed to or wanted to because although I knew I needed to go, I was like, well, damn, hopefully she'll change. Hopefully this will change. Hopefully this will get better. And it's like it was worse. Then it got okay. Then it was like, okay. Then it was like, what the hell am I doing? And I got to the point where it was like I was like, I gotta go. Like, nah. And I've had people say, well, you got married and you're supposed to fight for your marriage and this, that, and it's like, bruh, like, no, like some things are not worth fighting for. Like some things are not worth sticking your neck on the chopping block for. And it's like, in your situation when it's time to go and when it's time to get the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. Um, I had to say the last toxic relationship I was in, uh, I didn't waste any time about getting out of it.
Mm,
Um, it basically came down to I see what's going on. I know what's going on. I can't waste my time in it. You know, I can't keep investing into a relationship where I know that I'm not winning.
right.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I had like zero flat. I knew it was time to go.
Mm.
Pew.
Ping, 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 ricochet rabbit. Oh man. So let's talk about the importance of maintaining a healthy relationship when kids are involved. Um, I, I've been there, um, and and I've seen other people in those situations, and the things that kill me is, well, it's understandable to an extent, but
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly women, more so women than men, who stay because of the children, and it's like you gotta go. Um, and ideally you would want to maintain a healthy relationship for the kids when whether you stay or go, but if you go you would hopefully keep maintain a healthy relationship with the kids, but for the kids. But sometimes some people are just unbearable, just
Mm-hmm.
unbearable.
Yeah. Um, we definitely sometimes stay longer. Like, who wants to split up a family when children
Right.
are involved? So you'll hope against hope that things are going to get better just so that, your kids have two parents in the household and you don't have to divide your time with the
Hmm.
children, or, have it be this awkward situation when you're so showing up to, a social event or a kids function or something where you're going to be in the same place. Like, you know, we try, but ultimately, you do yourself and the kids a disservice because
Hmm.
the kids can see when the parents aren't happy, or,
Yeah.
when the environment isn't ideal.
Hmm.
Yeah, I definitely think that trying to have a working relationship with your ex when the kids are involved is a good thing. If you guys can come to a neutral ground where you guys both have an understanding, I think is great. If you can't, there are times where it just can't be done. Even if one person is sensible and like I'll work with you, and the other person is like unruly and just making it hell to deal with them,
Yeah.
you have no other choice in that, because at the end of the day, again, like you're saying, um, Genesis, that your kids see that. So what
Hmm.
kind of message are you sending to your kids at that point? Like, if mommy's going through hell
Mm.
because daddy's acting up, or being unruly and all that stuff, it's giving them the impression that, well, this is how relationships are supposed to be, and
Hmm.
that's the furthest thing from the truth, and vice versa. But yeah, definitely, you don't want to keep putting that impression on your kids. You want them to realize that at the end of the day, it's about self-love and self-care.
Yeah.
And although you guys have this union together, you have these kids together, you don't want your kids growing up thinking that this is normal, and it's
Hmm.
not.
Yeah. I
And
have,
sometimes you can be better co-parents
yeah.
apart.
Definitely.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine, and she was married to her husband for over 25 years, and they have 5 kids together, four kids together. And I would always ask, like, why are you still married if you're unhappy and y'all don't do this together and that? And she would say it's for the kids, and I'm like,
Mhm.
well, your kids are grown. Like they of age to where it's like y'all don't need to be married. Um, and she was telling me about all the nonsense that she was going through. Like he's a business owner, and like he was messing up so bad that they was garnishing his taxes, and they for whatever reason they went to the store and all of their accounts were locked out, like every one of them. Like they went to the store, tried to credit cards, debit cards, all that stuff wasn't working, and it's because of him. And I'm like, well, what made you stay? Oh, it's for the kids, and we don't interact, and he's over here and I'm over here, and I'm like, but why stay? And it's like now at this point, they all can't stand him because he's still doing the same thing and he's asking his kids for money and this, that, and the other, like asking his daughters for $1,000 to do this, that, and the other, but yet he's flying all over the places and getting first class this and first class that. And I'm like, and you stayed married to that man for that long while he was doing all that. And it's like, no, 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 no. There's stuff like that where you just cut that off real quick.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, what are the rules of engagement when it comes down to getting back with your ex, or like there's a couple and they decide to go on break or holiday or whatever they do nowadays. Like, I just need a break from you. I'm not saying it's over, but I just need time to get myself together. What are the rules involved with that?
Genesis, I'm curious of your response on this one.
There are no rules. There are no rules. When we're apart, we're apart.
Oh man, I agree on that. I agree wholly on that. We're apart. It's like,
Hang on, guys. I gotta take a break real quick. I'll be
all
right back.
right,
Okay, cool.
yeah. I agree. There's no rules because here's the funny thing, and I was victim of this back in the day when I was before I was mature, and
Mhm.
I have been victim of this. It's like you in a relationship with somebody, you dealing with them, y'all break up or stop seeing each other for whatever reason, and then y'all start dealing with each other again, or you get back together again, and or you messing with somebody while we were apart, and it's like, why are you asking me that? Oh, because I want to know. Like, why do you want to know? We weren't together. Like, there's no, you can't say I was cheating on you or anything because we wasn't together. And it's like
Right.
they just, and I'd be like, yo, it's like, and then, well, what were you doing? I wasn't doing nothing. It's like, well, shit, I really don't believe you. Like, it's like, I don't know.
No, no. I feel like this. When you're in those makeup breakup goddamn relationships, that's rough. I've been there before, and it's kind of like, okay, so you broke up on Monday, and then Wednesday, one of you guys are making a call, and when
A
you hear
lifeline
about
call or call back to the person that you broke up with.
call back to the person you broke up with,
Okay.
and then you find out where I moved on, you like, God damn, it's one day.
Yeah.
But it be like that sometimes. So it's kind of like, uh, for me, that's one of the things I had to learn the hard way. When it's over, it's over. So don't waste your time, talking about, oh man, I missed her. I wish I could go back. I wish, there's a way for us to work through it. We can do this. And there is no way. There is no way. Not in my circumstances. When it's over, bruh, it's over. Leave it alone.
I hear you, but if two people break up and the next day the one is calling the other one saying, hey, what's going on, blah blah blah, I want to see you, let's get back together, and the other person say, well, I moved on, they already had that person
Yes.
waiting or
That,
dealing with them. So
that part, sir.
um in a situation like that, Uh, dog eat dog. Like, there's no other way to get around that one because that person has checked out a long time ago. I'll say that's pretty much what that is to me. So I don't see any purpose in even working on that or even expecting that to like that's one of those moments where you just got to wipe your tears and move on.
That's how I feel. And again, it's that particular situation. Like I said, it was like a Monday, and then it was a Wednesday. Um, I called back, and she's like, "Well, I moved on." What?
Yeah,
It's only been one day.
yeah.
One day? Are you serious?
Mm.
And that's when you start coming into the realization that just because you love somebody, that don't mean they actually love you.
Yeah,
It's just the way the world works, unfortunately.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Let's say, wait,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. It's over. Yeah, I got a new cat up in here.
Oh man,
Never. No, okay, don't get me started.
have I done some grimy stuff like that back in the day? Yes, I have. I have done some grimy stuff like that. Um, that was back in the days when I was like really, really, really heartless. In my late 20s and through my 30s, I was heartless. So it didn't bother me. Um, did I feel bad later on? Like, yeah, that was probably wrong as shit. But at that time, I didn't care. I've had it done to me, so it was like I was like, damn, like I could still smell you in my bed because you was just there 2 days ago.
Yeah,
And it's like, oh wow, okay, it is what it is.
yeah. It'd be crazy when you are in a toxic relationship, right? Where you guys break up, and then the next thing you know, the person is posting their new love on their Facebook page. Like what?
See, that's ignorant. That's
We were
ignorant.
just together the night before last. What are you doing?
That's ignorant. That's people who have a whole life outside of you who do stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely don't know.
Mm.
But can you still have sex with an ex and not get emotionally involved?
Yeah, that's I don't know. That's tricky. Um, yeah, that's a tricky one. If you never gave a damn about that person, then if you never gave a damn about that person like that, then probably. Um, but if you had some type of feelings for that person, if you go back and have sex, you're gonna feel something. You're gonna feel something. I don't care what it is. You're gonna feel something because unless you knocking that person off, getting up and rolling out, um, it is what it is. But you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna go knock off my ex. I ain't got no feelings for him or her. I'm gonna go knock him off, but you stay in the bed and y'all cuddle after sex. It's like those are feelings. Like those are feelings. Like you can't dance around that. Like you feeling something, or else you could be like, yo, chill, just lay on this side of the bed. Like we good. Nah.
Um, I think in different circumstances, you can have a sexual relationship without being emotionally involved.
You think
But
so?
I think you can.
Oh
But
no.
then there are certain situations where it depends on the person you're with. Like if you really thought you had something great with them, or it could have been one of those situations where just on the inside of the bedroom, everything is fantastic. It's the
Mm-mm.
bomb diggity, as they say. But then on the outside of the bedroom is where you find yourself fighting all the time and you can't get along. Yeah,
No.
it
I
just
refuse. I refuse to go along with that.
Yeah, that's
Because my
why I
thing is
say.
this: if it's magical in the bedroom, you feeling something.
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
feeling something. Like you feeling some kind of emotions or whatever, or else you would not go back. Because in my day, I've had some chicks with some banging sex, but outside the bedroom, it was like, what the hell? And it's like, mm. It might have taken me a while to get up off of that thing, but nah. Um, Yeah, no, 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 no. Unless you just don't give a damn about that person and it's just about that, maybe. But if you have had feelings for that person, you're not having sex with that person and not catching feelings.
Yeah.
And I personally think in most situations, if you have an ex and you still having sex with that ex, you have feelings for that ex. Some type of emotional connection with that ex. That's just what I think. I don't know. Anybody out there can tell me differently off their own situations, but I don't give a damn how good it is in the bed. If if the relationship was trash, then you're probably not going to want to jump back into bed with that person. And if you do jump back into bed with that person, it's because you're feeling something. You miss something about that person other than their bed skills.
I mean, I agree with you. It's again, you can maintain a sexual relationship, but as far as like actually beyond that,
Mhm.
that's where the complications, come into play. So I think it can be done, but it's a tricky situation, as they say.
Was you following Cousin Genesis?
I was not. I had to mute y'all because, them situations with them exes and, little kids have to do these little phone calls. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what my
Gotcha,
break was. And,
gotcha,
Okay.
gotcha.
Okay.
I had to
So
monitor because it ain't kosher. So,
right,
you
right.
know,
So the question, the one that we was discussing was, can you still have sex with an ex and not get emotionally involved?
nope. Nope. I don't think so. I think that you could probably do that with like somebody you weren't involved with, but an ex, you had an emotional attachment to them. Now, you all split for whatever reason and you're back and now you just gonna turn all of that off.
That's what I
Whatever
was saying.
you're back because of whatever feelings you had were unresolved.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you
Yeah,
didn't give a damn about that person, then maybe, but
right.
if you gave a damn about that person, it's no way you jumping into bed with that person and not feeling something. Because
Right.
it's like,
No.
you
No,
know,
you gonna go down memory lane to when
Uh
things
huh.
were good, even if y'all, you ended on a bad note. If you go back to them, you gonna think about when times were good, and you probably already thought about when times were good.
oh
That's why
yeah.
you stuck back with them.
Hmm.
True
Then,
that.
then you're gonna want to cuddle and all this and all that, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you feeling
Before you
something.
know it, you got a baby.
And Roe versus Wade was overturned, and you stuck.
Yeah,
Now you gotta make it
listen,
work for a minute.
listen.
Yeah.
So, under what circumstances should a person maintain a business relationship with an ex?
I don't think you should. I mean, I think that if you're going to separate from an ex, then you have to separate everything
Yeah.
because it's going to create problems when you decide to move on. Who's going to move on, if they have a business together? Who's going to move on to a new relationship and that new partner is going to be okay with them working side by side with their ex?
Right. Yeah.
Probably not many people. And I think it's disrespectful. I think when it's an ex, cut them off. So, they're not a distraction and you can focus on the new relationship or whoever it is you're pursuing after that.
Yeah, that's the thing I was thinking about with that because, if you look at maintaining a business with an ex, it's kind of
Mhm.
like trying to maintain marital property with an ex. It's like
Right.
we have a house and we're still going to maintain this house, but we're going to be divorced and I'm gonna move on. And now I got to deal with you and this nonsense. No.
Mm-mm.
Um, I mean, yeah, that's something that just has to be resolved, and hopefully both parties can work that out amicably and not have a whole bunch of drama in it. And that's another thing. It's like y'all might have a conversation, oh, yo, yeah, we can still maintain this, although we split. And it's like you don't really know what that other person is thinking or doing. You just never know. So why even put
Right.
yourself in that situation?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. If I'm moving on, then I don't want any distractions for what I'm moving on with, and I don't want to appear. They say avoid the appearance of things. I don't want it to appear that I haven't broken this connection and that I'm not 10 toes down for whoever the new person is. Like
Right.
we
Yes.
broke up for a reason, so let's break up all the way.
Let's break up all the way.
Right.
I get where you both are coming from,
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
but I feel like this. Um, I'm not gonna fuck up the money. I'm not fucking up the money regardless. And it's kind of like it's funny because it reminds me of a situation where 50 Cent and Jay-Z were kind of having issues at one point, but they had a conversation, right?
Mhm.
And 50 asked Jay-Z, like, okay, so we killing each other or what? And Jay was like, and fuck up the money?
But they wasn't smashing each
Hell
other.
no, we ain't fucking up
Right.
the money.
But they wasn't
So
smashing each
Then
other.
I get that,
why not
but what
one
the point
person
that I'm
one
making is
one-
when it comes down to living the life that I built, meaning I've done the hard work, I made the sacrifices to get where I want to get. This is business
Mm,
and this is personal.
Mm-mm.
And
mm,
if you can't separate the two, that's when you have issues. But
uh,
Mhm.
for me, I'm not fucking up the money. I'm not doing
I
that.
gotta, I
But you
gotta
don't have to
disagree with
fuck up the
that one.
money.
Yeah,
Buy me out. If I built it before,
I
I
can
get
build
it,
it
I'll
again.
run it up, I'll build it again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it can be done. I'm just
It
simply
will be
And
saying
I'm
done.
gonna be
Not
your
can be.
you
competitor.
can
It will be
separate
done.
amicably or however you say it,
Mm-mm.
with mutual respect, and there is no hate or whatever the situation may be. You know, as long as that business is successful, I'm gonna
Mm,
keep that business going.
bruh.
If
And
it's
if we
successful, you
we come
already
to
have
a
the
point where
business
we
model though.
just can't do business anymore, meaning your new mate says that he feels uncomfortable with you being that close with me, fine, so be it. I'll buy you out, but I'm not fucking up the money. No.
But see, that's the key thing. If you move on or she moves on, they should have it in their mind that they're going to respect that new relationship. Period. The other thing is, even if there's no other relationship, it's like, do I still want to continue doing this? It's like, no. Like, if we're dissolving the relationship, we're dissolving all aspects of it, because if we built it once, I can go build whatever again. Um, buy you out, buy me out, however the case may be. I'll go do something else because I have the skill, the know-how, or whatever to do something else.
Mhm.
But again, you never know what that other person is doing. Y'all can sit there and have a conversation, be like, we're not messing up the money. But again, when it comes to a relationship, an emotional relationship with somebody that you're dissolving, you don't know what that other person is doing. And some
Mhm.
people might have, that other person may not be doing anything, but this person over here may be suspicious minded. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what they're doing. You can't sleep at night and move through the day with that on your mind, and then you're going to end up messing up the money. Why put yourself in that situation?
And I think you're at a you have an advantage, or you're a little bit ahead when it comes to succeeding if you start a new business, because you already have, if you're successful, you already have a successful business model. You have the knowledge. You
Mhm.
have that you've gained from whatever previous mistakes. So now you can go in the new business. Okay, I'm going in the new business. I learned from these mistakes over here in the business we built together. So now I don't have that hurdle to get over in the new company that I might be starting or the new business. I take the money. You can buy me out. I'm gonna take the money and run.
Yeah.
I get it.
But
Yeah.
you still in that same
But
place.
I
He gonna stay
can't
there.
disagree because I've seen people do it before.
Hmm.
You know, there's a very successful car dealership in Atlanta where the guy and his wife, they built the business together. You know, he actually paid for her to go to school to be a lawyer, and you know, they got to a point where they, you know, dissolved their marriage, but they did not the money, meaning they didn't resolve the business. It's kind of like you got your house, I got my house, you got your life, I got my life, but we're not gonna let our personal lives up the money. So I get it. So
Mm.
again,
So what
it's only
happens
because
when
I've
they
seen
gotta
it
stay
done
at work
before.
late? What happens when they gotta stay at work late?
Uh, I can only assume they, you know, telling their mates where they at, and hey, if you got a problem, come down.
Okay,
You can watch it
babe.
work.
I had to stay at work late with Johnny. We got some paperwork that we got to work on. Might be here a couple hours. What's your
I guess at that
response?
point, you gotta trust your mate. Either
That's
that or
gonna get
pull
old.
up.
That's gonna get old. That's gonna get
Right.
old.
Again, I can't say what they do, but hey, their business is still thriving. So
You know what?
evidently, they're making it work some kind of way.
But you using that example, I look at it like this. They have in the background made some type of agreement to where they're going to continue doing that for the sake of something. Because at the end of the day, me personally, I see no reason to continue a business relationship with an ex. Period. It's like
Right. Me
you
either.
move on, I move on. You buy me out, or I buy you out, or whatever. And the other thing that I want to look at like that, yes, let's just say your business is successful. But if that's all that you're doing, then you're doing business wrong. You should be capitalizing on other business ventures while you're doing that, just
Mhm.
in case. Because if you just have all your eggs in that basket, and y'all, all right, we broke up, but we're gonna keep this going. What if it collapsed? Then what?
It's like marriage, I guess it gets resolved.
But if you got divorced or whatever the case may be, and you severed all ties, you don't have to worry about that
True.
because that can potentially get ugly.
That it can.
All right. Sun Solex got to drop off, but we're going to continue the
All
conversation.
right.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on, Genesis, and
See you,
thanks
Sunso.
everybody for coming on and listening to us. And again, appreciate the
Absolutely.
love and support.
And he
All
just
right.
gonna drop this hot button topic and then jump on out of here and leave us. That's okay. We got it. We
Hey,
gonna hold it down while
yeah,
you
y'all can hold it down. I got faith in y'all. That's what's up.
That joker hit me off at the beginning talking about, hey, I got to drop off because
Thanks,
I got a
Wally.
Zoom call again. I'm like, wait a goddamn minute. You asked me if we were still rocking tonight. But
That's
we're
all
All
going to
right,
right.
hold
y'all
it
We
take
down.
gotta
care.
do it.
Oh, what's up, Wally? See you in the chat.
Hey, Wally.
So the next thing he had on here is boundaries for communicating with an ex when you move on. I mean,
Boundaries for communicating. Well, definitely no late night phone calls, no late nights, no early mornings.
no
Um,
excessive.
I mean, oh wait, hold on. Why are we still communicating with the ex? Are we talking about because they have kids together? Or are we just talking in general? Like if it's because they have kids together, then keep the conversation
About the
related to the
kids.
children only, no personal, what you doing, what you got
Right.
on, none of that stuff. Um, outside of kids being involved, then why you still need to communicate with your ex?
I mean, I see that. Maybe y'all were on, maybe they were still good terms, so to speak. They just grew apart, but um, but
Okay,
I
so
just I don't see
Mm-mm.
a lot of communication.
Right.
Um, but then I don't know because me and my youngest son's mother, you know, we were together 17 years ago.
Mhm.
Um, yes, we have our child that we communicate about, but we still conversate outside of him, and it's nothing like crazy. Um, the conversation is not always about him,
Mhm.
but we still talk. Um,
Hmm.
so I mean, I guess it depends on the situation that people find
Mhm.
themselves in.
I don't know. I don't the only personal situations I have to relate to it, there are children involved,
Right.
but there's no communication between us at all,
Mm,
well, other than by email,
right.
any phone calls, it's just children talking. I'm not saying anything.
Hmm.
Um, and I like it that way, you know. Past situations, I didn't have situations where they, ended bad, like,
Hmm.
we parted ways on good terms outside of this one situation.
Right.
We parted on good terms. So I was still able to be friendly with those people when I saw them, but I wasn't in I'm of the mindset that I'm not gonna let my past interfere with, ruin, or jeopardize my future.
Right. Yeah.
So, you're in the rear view mirror. I'm looking forward. There's really nothing for me to, keep connected to you for.
Yeah, I could dig it. I mean, I guess I guess for the most part, that's what people how people proceed. But
Yeah.
there are certain situations where people are just cordial or whatever.
Yeah.
So what about the situation? Because I know this happens a lot where
Was.
the family still loves that ex, and that person is still, talking to the family, still invited to family gatherings, and it's like, damn, you there. And it's like you can't say stay away from my family because the
Mhm.
family is cool with that person. What about situations like that if that ex is invited to a family event and y'all in the same space?
I don't know. I would think like if they're hopefully they've moved on, and if they're inviting them to family events, then they're bringing their new significant other to those
Right.
events with them. Just hanging out and chilling out around the thing. I don't know. I think it would depend on the situation because uh, I've seen, and I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've known of male situations, but
Mhm.
I have definitely heard of female situations where they're trying to stay connected to the family because they're kind of like waiting in that friend
Waiting on the wins.
zone
Yeah, yeah.
until, okay, well, let me stay connected to the family. If this doesn't work out with who he thinks he's, with now, then I'm still here and I'm still in the family. I never lost that connection.
Mm.
I don't know.
Are
I don't
people
know.
really out there doing that like that? Like that really
Absolutely,
that
there are.
hard?
Absolutely,
Like
there are.
seriously?
I have an older brother, and that happened. I can't count the number of times. Uh, you
Stop.
know, yeah, like, ladies that he would be involved with, trying to get close. My parents have passed on, but they would be trying to get close to my parents and stay connected to my parents, and then get close to me and stay connected. It's like, baby, I can't save you. I can't help you. I mean, if you're hanging around just because you like my company, that's one thing, but
If you think I'm
honey,
a advocate for your return to that person's life, then
Right, like, I stay out of grown folks' business. I got
right.
nothing to do with that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I've never ever I don't think I know anyone who's been in that type of situation or
yeah,
put themselves in that situation. I think that's just crazy. Like,
yeah, no, when you break up with the family too, unless y'all got some kids together,
yeah, and then yeah, if you the custodial parent, you got to bring the kids to the event,
Right,
and the family says, "Hey, just
right,
stay a while." Okay, cool, but if you
You
using
know
the
what? I
kids,
just told a lie. I just told a lie. I did know a male.
really?
Yeah, the ex with of the children. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. He was still talking to my family members. So yeah, he was still talking to my family members and even my brother. Because
I think I would be ashamed of a dude who did that.
I mean, he had whatever motivation he had for doing it. It wasn't gonna help him because typically the family members are going to ride with their family member, and if they come with
Hopefully.
somebody new, they're going to embrace the new person, and that as actually is what happened. They embraced the new person, and now it's like you looking crazy because they loving on the new person.
I mean, hopefully. I know I've had situations where, um, like I had someone brought them around the family, we stopped seeing each other, and I move on and bring a new person around, and
Hmm.
the family is like, "Where's such and such?" And you know, they whisper to you, but their whisper is not a whisper, and the other person may hear what they're saying. It's like, yo, what the? I got a whole new person here, and it's
Yeah.
like, I understand that you like the other person, but that's done. Like, I got a whole new person here. Like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Then you gotta answer questions later. Like, it's like, come on, man.
Mine, they may have asked, where such and such, but then it was kind of, then they were free to say everything they had been thinking before, like, what were you doing over there? Why were you doing that? And then that's the roast session ensues. Like, listen,
With the new person around?
on one occasion it was like, I'm so glad she got you because I don't know where she got that other one from. It's like,
Oh
oh
man.
wow, y'all ain't got to put all my business in the streets, but
The only time that happened to me where I didn't care was when they was talking about my third wife. It was like they would they would talk bad about her, and I'd be like,
really,
I don't care because I can agree. Like she was that was a whole trash situation,
mhm,
but it was like if the other person was just like cool and they doing this, like, yo, like, can y'all like chill? I got a
mhm,
new person here. It's like, come on now,
yeah.
yo, white flag, surrender, chill.
I had one situation where my my mother liked the person,
Mhm.
but I had never admitted to dating the person. It was,
Oh.
childhood friend, and she always thought that he was a nice young man and so respectable. And she saw us together
Mhm.
one time, and we were actually involved at the time, but I didn't tell her that we were involved. And after it was over, she was, questioning me. She's like, why didn't you ever get with, such and such? And he was always such a nice man and so respectable.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, well, I was, but, you know, it didn't work out.
Oh, man. Did that start a whole conversation?
It started a whole conversation, but I still never told her,
The real.
the full extent of
Oh, okay.
to the full extent of what happened. Just kind
Wow.
of like,
That's crazy. So the last talking point that he has on here is
uh,
being the backup plan if your current love interests fall through. And
being the backup plan.
so so pretty much what it is, you with a person,
Mhm,
y'all break up.
mhm,
That person moves on,
mhm.
but you're still the backup plan to the person that you broke up with while they moved on.
Meaning, like, they go and explore other things. If it doesn't work out, they come back.
No, they've already moved on, but they
Uh-huh.
still have you on speed dial.
Oh no, no, no. You don't get to spin the block. You don't get to come back. Like, if it's done, it's done. You better make it work while you got an opportunity.
Oh man.
No, no. Why would you do that? I mean, unless you have low self-esteem, then. because they've moved on already, right?
They've moved on and still keeping you on speed dial. So
No,
whatever opportunity arise, y'all connecting and doing y'all thing, but they going back home to new boo.
no. Mm-mm.
That's a that's a crazy situation. Oh man, I found myself in crazy situations similar to that. Yeah, I've engaged in that nonsense back in the day, um, because I could, and I would say I don't know if it was low self esteem or empowerment as a man, but no, it was retarded. You know,
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. I was just responding to somebody that was asking, need to come on another show. I'm like, after I finish the show, they like, where you at? I'm like, King and I Live podcast. So hopefully they come over, hang out
oh
with us a
man,
little bit. But yeah, these relationships, look, the kids just went outside and didn't come back. Uh
hey,
these
they said it's outside.
it's got to be dark. Like, no, that ain't really how it works.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, these relationships are crazy out here.
Relationships are crazy. I'm like,
Mm,
these streets, I am not made for the streets in that
mm-mm.
way. Like, you see, people juggling and, all that stuff. Like, there's too much going on.
It is a lot going on, and
Yeah.
I be looking at people like I used to be one of them people back in the day. Put all my relationship business on Facebook, this, that, and the other. And it's like I got to a point where it's like I'm not doing that.
I have been public well, I was public with one relationship because I was kind of forced to do it.
Mhm.
And then the next relationship was not necessarily public. Like, I was never one to like post ussies and,
Mhm.
you know, give snippets about what was going on in our lives
Right,
until my last relationship. And we were just kind of outwardly, publicly
right,
affectionate with each other and, doing our little shout outs to each other and,
right, right.
how they do on social media. But that was the one time that I've been open with it and, you know, and then I had to go into hiding. I mean, not because I wanted to, but
Right,
he passed away and then it was like, okay, well, I mean, what am I going to tell these people now? Like, I'm grieving. I got, let me get off social media. So
right.
I took a hiatus, and then came back, by myself with my story.
Mhm.
And, it was what it was. So now I'm like, the one time I went out on a limb and opened up to the world and
Uh,
gave them the snippet into my personal life and it didn't work out. It's like, nah, I won't be doing that again.
right, yeah.
I won't be doing that again. So I'm kind of private now with what it
Yeah,
is. I might
and
post a location that
right.
I'm there with the person, but I'm not
Right.
posting a picture. I said maybe I might post an arm or a leg or a foot or something,
Yeah, and
a
people take it.
fingernail,
Yeah,
but
people take it as, "Oh, you being sneaky, you being this, you being" it's like, "No,
no.
I'm just minding my damn business, and that's
Yeah.
my location, and whoever I'm with is not your business. The details ain't your
Yep.
business. You don't need to worry about that. Stay out my inbox asking who I'm with, what I'm doing. Look, it's what it is."
Yeah. But people do that a lot. I never knew like it the audacity of people with some of the questions. Like I would never think, to see somebody out or see them post a photo of being out and then send them a message saying, well, who you out with? Like,
Right.
who
Like,
told y'all that this was appropriate?
right, and who
If
told
they
you that it
wanted
was
you
your
to know, they
business?
would have posted a picture of who they were with.
Right, yeah, like, come on, man, like, grow up. Like, what we look, we did not revert back to high school years. We are grown now. Like, come on,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. No, I'm not posting anything. Like, The next thing I post will be some wedding photos, maybe. I mean, I may do
Exactly.
some, an arm or leg, but the next photo of me and somebody else, at least I'm planning it to be that way. With,
Yeah.
like, okay, I got married. Here's snippets from the wedding, but
Yeah. And,
like
and
letting them into your personal life, nah.
and don't be asking me when did this happen and where this and where that, because
Right.
the people who need to know will
Well,
know.
no,
And
exactly.
other than that, just be happy. That's it.
Right.
If you want to pray for my demise, by all means do so. But just leave it at that.
And that's the thing. Once you let people know that you got something going on, people will be jealous or they'll come in and try and mess up what you got.
Yeah.
I learned that lesson the hard way. You start
Mhm.
posting somebody, and now dudes is guilty of this part. They will
What?
come under your photos. You posted
Yeah.
the minute you posted you with somebody and post a picture of you and the dude. Any
Um,
posts that you put up after that, or photos of yourself individually that you put up, now they under there making comments, trying to make it seem like y'all got something going
right.
on, or they're part of, y'all got some inside jokes, or some sidebar conversations going on. Like, get out of here.
Females do that shit too.
Yeah, they do.
And I don't know who's messier with that, jealous dudes or angry females,
I think
because
ladies are worse.
yeah,
I think
like
ladies are worse. I mean, and I experienced that too. It was dudes doing things on my ends, but the women were way worse. He could have put up, I just went to the bathroom to blow my nose in the toilet paper. It is. Oh, oh, that's so funny. Like, he
right.
ain't funny.
Like what was funny about that?
Yeah,
Like
they just wanted to have something to say.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Or they'll post those things so that, the new girlfriend or the lady in his life can ask, well, who is such and such? Like,
I've had that happen
they want
before.
y'all to get in an argument over her
Yeah.
comment on the post. Like, no,
Why
we
she
don't do
say that
that.
on that post and why she
Right.
liking all your pictures? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
But you're asking me the obvious. You know why she's doing it. Why are you asking me? But yeah, people
But
crazy.
now that's another thing. Um, Hang on one second. The Do you see a lot with women shooting their shot? Look, I'm trying to keep it clean. Uh, you know how they say that women want a man who is
With
already in a
someone.
relationship or somebody taken.
Uh-huh.
Like when you guys start posting pictures of, well, you don't post pictures of the person you're with, but if you're posting locations, say, you go out to dinner with somebody
Mhm.
and you post a picture of your plate or whatever you're eating or drinking. Are the ladies in the inbox like questioning, or even exes, since we were talking
Yeah.
about exes tonight, who you out with, who you
Yeah.
having drinks with?
I've had that happen before, but since I'm not in a relationship and I
Mhm.
don't post pictures like that, I really don't have that happen much. Um, I mean, it happens here and there, and I just laugh it off, but um, nobody goes hard in the paint. Nobody has gone hard in the paint because I'm not. I don't have relation. I'm in a marriage relationship, this, that, or other, on
Mhm.
anything. So I mean, are there people attracted to me or whatever? Want to go out? How? Yeah, there's people out there, but
Mhm.
it's no. I can treat you better than her and stuff. Nobody's going hard in the paint like that. So I mean, I don't have to worry about that. What about you?
Guys do that a lot. Guys do that a lot. Like, I've been saying that, I'm single and mingling and
uh,
whatever, and people take that to mean whatever they take it to mean. And,
mhm.
I ain't clearing up shit. So it
Right.
is what it is. But I have, we have a favorite,
Mhm.
but you ain't necessarily exclusive or claiming them or whatever, because you just ain't in the headspace.
Right.
Um, and you post pictures, like, I post locations, like you've
Mhm.
seen my IG,
Yeah.
post locations, and they'll assume that you're there with somebody, and
Exactly.
you might be right, you might be right,
You might be right, you
but
might be
then
wrong.
and then they'll say, well, let me know when he fuck up. I hope he treating you right.
Do you
If
still
he
say
don't treat
that?
you right, let me know. Little stuff like that, like
They
putting it
still
out
saying
there,
that in
like,
2022?
huh?
They still saying that in 2022?
Yes. Yes, they are still saying that.
No, they're not still saying that.
Yes, they are still saying
I
that.
refuse to believe that. I
Yes,
used to
they
say
are.
that. I used to
Yes.
say that. I was like, let me know when that joker mess up and he ain't
Yep.
treating you right. You need a better man, this, that, and the other.
That's
And
what
then
they
I
said.
graduated. I graduated from using those lines and to the point where I was like, I'm not thinking about what he is or isn't doing. I'm gonna shoot my shot on my own merits. And if I get in, then I get in. I'm not thinking about him. I'm not gonna say I can do you better than he can. I can do this.
No.
That stuff was so 20s and 30s. It's like,
They
nah, you got
still do it. They
yeah.
still do it. I'm like, wow. And I sometimes I'm shocked at it's not even effort. I can't even say what,
And that's the thing.
the pickup lines that the guys use. And, like I've been out for this scene for a while.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I ain't cut out for these streets, because this right here, I'd be like, what? Is that the
yeah,
best you got? Like, I
yeah.
understand why they still searching.
I got a lot of female friends, and when I hear them say stories like that, I'll be like, he said what?
Yeah.
He did what? Like, are you
Yes.
serious right now? Like, wait a minute, stop. No, he did not. It was like, yeah, he did. I'll be like, you know what? I apologize to you on behalf of men that got common sense.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's wild.
Men don't have conversation, or a
Mm,
lot of conversations. So it's kind of like when you see a guy that can hold a conversation or can stimulate your mind, it's intriguing. It's like, oh wow,
yeah.
because on a whole, or as a whole, I would say, or maybe it's just where I live. I don't know.
It's everywhere.
Can't say as a whole. Let me limit it to my little circle.
Oh my
I live
goodness.
4-block radius or something. I
Oh
don't
man.
know. But yeah, they're so, I don't know what to call them. Like, and it's like, are ladies really going for this?
That's the problem.
Y'all
There are
getting in
still
whole
women out there going
relationships?
for it. There's still I
Right.
think
Y'all
that's the
getting in
problem.
whole relationships after you came with a pickup line, or,
Yeah.
you can't even hold a conversation. You don't have emotional intelligence,
Nothing.
like nothing. You don't understand women. Like,
Right.
I thought by now y'all knew this.
Yeah. And in situations like that, it's like I don't know who to blame, the women for allowing them to get away with that or the men who just think that's just okay.
Both, but I think, I don't know. They well, on one hand they say I'm a feminist, and on the other hand, then I'm a pick me. But um, I think that women hold the power there,
They should.
because the men can't do anything except what they allow them to get away with.
That is and why are women out here letting men get away with stuff like that? Like
Because they're pressured to have a title. They're pressured to have a title of, you know, girlfriend, wife, or something.
mm,
And I think that's why a lot of them are in, relationships where they're unhappy, because they just want to say, I got a man, or I
mm,
have a husband. So they accept, you know, men that they probably wouldn't choose. And then, especially once they start getting older,
mm.
especially if they haven't, reach certain milestones that they
Mhm.
say we should have, then, the biological clock is, ticking, and Okay, well, I'm 40 now and I haven't been married, so I gotta
Mm.
hurry up and get married before it's too late. Or, this stupid YouTube talking point, well, women are hitting a wall. You're gonna hit a wall. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Mm.
Like, only fools rush in.
Yeah.
Like, slow
So
down.
before we get up off of here,
Yeah,
you talked about this biological clock. Are women really still basing their relationship goals on a biological clock?
I think so. I think so. I don't know. I guess it depends on the woman. Like for me,
Mm.
life gets better as I get older.
That's what I would think.
Yeah. Life gets better. And like I'm enjoying life so much more than I did when I was younger.
Hmm.
And it's like, well, why am I in a hurry to not enjoy life? And not saying that, marriage can't be enjoyable,
Right.
but if you are content with yourself and you're okay spending time by yourself, then I think you have a better chance of finding a successful relationship or one that suits you
Hmm.
because there's no rush.
Yeah. I just I guess in the last 10, 12 years,
Mhm.
it just baffled me that women are still on this biological clock thing. Like some women, like in their late 30s, early 40s,
Mhm.
early to mid 40s, and maybe they don't have kids, or maybe had a failed marriage, or even if they do have kids and they get married again, it's like, oh, I need to give this man a child, or I need to have a child before I'm this age, blah blah blah. And it's like, what is what is the importance of that if it's not something that's organic to whatever your life is at that moment? Why are
Mhm.
you so in a rush to do this? Why do you feel like you need to do this in order to be successful in a relationship?
I don't
It
know.
I don't get it.
I don't know. Everything has an appointed or designated time. So,
Yeah.
you may not be the person who was intended to be married at 30.
Yeah.
You might be the person intended to be married at 40 or
Or
50 or
50.
beyond.
Yeah.
You never know. So, I sometimes wonder if, not that I have regrets per se, but
Mhm.
when you go through situations and they don't work out, then I think that, they may have not worked in some of the cases. They didn't work out because you weren't supposed to be there to begin with,
You're
you
right.
know. But,
Yeah.
ladies I think are definitely feeling the
Yeah.
pressure to get married. And then, you know, people will discount what you have to say. I call them simpletons. They'll discount what people have to say because they say that they're single.
Yeah.
You know, if you're single, then automatically that means you're unhappy. If
Mhm.
you're single, that automatically means you can't, get married or can't find a husband or a wife. And it's just like, how shallow can you be?
Right, like, really, how shallow can you be? It's like
Yeah, how shallow can you be? Like,
your life is meant to be lived how you're comfortable living, not by
right,
what society is placing on you.
right,
To me,
right.
peer pressure went down in the '70s.
Yeah,
That's my line, I'm sticking to it.
I'm so over it. I'm so over it. Like, you know, because I've had the benefit of being married before and seeing what married life was like, and now being a single person, I'm just like, I don't know if marriage was something different than I knew it to be,
Right.
but who's clamoring for that when
Yeah.
I have more money than I had back then? I
Right.
ain't gotta struggle no more. And, all those, well, I guess there are growing pains as far as getting to know somebody, but
Yeah.
the young stuff, and you young, you're broke, you ain't got like, I ain't gotta do struggle love no more.
At
So
all, like, no.
I'm living my life and I'm having a
Right.
great time.
I go and come when I please,
You
and if I
know?
don't do something, I don't have to do it. I don't have to worry about appeasing or appealing to somebody if I
Yeah,
don't want to. Um, I don't understand why people just don't embrace that life. And if you
right.
meet someone who is understanding of that, whether you have a complete union or y'all just have a thing, whatever works for your situation, just enjoy that. Like, eliminate all that outside pressure and stress and expectations, because that's what they think is working and that's what
Mm-hmm.
they think you're supposed to be doing. But again, your relationship is individual to you, not what they think. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
these people out here are not certified to make certain comments or
Yeah.
decisions.
I think when they're, I look at them, they're judging the single people and me as a single person now. Now I have the benefit of judging the married folks because I'm like,
Exactly.
y'all, we get to date somebody. And even if you have, as I say, a favorite,
Hmm.
you get to spend time with that same person, when you feel like it.
Yeah.
And you get all the benefits of the married people get, other than life insurance. I mean, and you still don't have to be married even to do that.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can get insurance on anybody if that's what you
Right.
choose.
Yeah.
But it's like you get all of that without the stress or the responsibility.
Hmm.
You do it if you want to. I don't have to do your laundry. I don't have to cook you a
Right.
meal. Now, if I decide I want to do that, then okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is.
Like, and then you're happy because
Yep.
you don't have stress. I don't have anything to argue about. You don't have to argue about bills. You don't have
Mm-mm.
to argue about the kids or any of that stuff
Or be miserable because you seeing the same person in the same place every damn day,
every day.
but you
Or you
faking
just
like
don't
y'all
want to be
happy.
bothered. I had a stressful day at work today. I just want to go take me a hot bath, get if they getting a glass of wine, whatever they doing, get in my bed, watch the boob tube if that's what they do, and
Right.
go to sleep. I don't want to have to talk to nobody. I don't want to have to worry
Yeah.
about their feelings or how
None of
their
that.
day was.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the fear of being alone when they get old or dying alone or something like that. I don't know.
Get over it.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
But that's about it. That's all we got. Thank my cousin,
Yeah,
my YouTube cousin, Book of Genesis, for coming through. Go check out her channel. You know,
absolutely.
she's
Yes,
been
they
going
better come
outside.
check me out. Check
She's
me
been going
out.
outside like me. So, we kind of
Yes.
consistent, but definitely go check her out.
I'll be outside this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be outside too. I got a wedding to go to Friday. It's an evening wedding. So
Mhm.
then it's a holiday weekend, and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with the rest of the weekend? I know I'm gonna get on that damn water though.
I have 2 events. I have
Yeah.
Saturday, event Sunday, and then for the holiday, I'll probably, do something at home.
Okay.
But yeah, so we'll see.
That's what it is. We'll catch you on next one. Hey, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share, and go check out my YouTube cousin, The Book of Genesis, on all platforms. Go check it out.
All platforms.
All of them. You see how it's spelled on the screen. It's not spelled like the Bible, so make sure you
That's
spell it
right.
just like that. So
JENNESIS.
that's right. Up in the shy. So until next time, we out.
Peace.